Hello everybody. This afternoon I'm rushing a little bit. I'm in the Scenic Rim, just out of Arachula, at a spot just on the side of the highway. I sort of wanted to come out this way for a little bit, but I wasn't exactly sure on where to set up. And I'm still not, but this is going to have to do today because I'm very quickly running out of light. Sun doesn't set for another half an hour or so, but it's dropping behind the mountain. So the reason I'm rushing so much is I had to work today. So, you know, by the time I finished work, got home, packed up my gear, got in the car, I just was running out of time. But I wanted to try and get out, because I haven't been out to shoot in a little while. And it really helps me feel better, you know, mental health wise. And so here I am. Just got a couple of mountains over here, Mount Mitchell and Mount Cordeaux. The sun is setting sort of between them. And even though there is quite a bit of time till actual sunset, because they're fairly large mountains, it's sort of disappearing behind them very quickly. Of course, I am shooting the Hasselblad today. I did bring the EM1, but I'm just not sure that I'm going to have time to use it. So I've got a bit of a composition here. I don't know how much I love it, but it's nice. I've got some nice green grass, the mountains and some trees, so it's pretty good. The light this afternoon is really nice, and I'm just going to take a meter reading right now. I'm shooting Fuji Pro 160, as I often do. Let's have a look. Now I'll go 1/30th of a second. That's not the deep shadows, but it should keep some highlights as well. So 1/30th of a second. I've got my film ready to go. F16, 1/30th of a second. Dark slide out. Mirror lock up, and here we go. So I was using the 150mm because I'm just not sure on how the composition will go wide angle. I'm just doing another shot at 1/15th of a second as well. But now that I've got that shot, I might try and pop the wide angle on the 60mm and see how I go with that as well. Now I'm going to pop on the wide angle. So it's a 60mm f3.5. I really do like this lens. It's a really, really nice lens. Oh, this could actually work really well. Except I'm getting this fence. I'll move a bit closer to the fence. So I know it's a bit hard to see, but that's my composition. So you can see I've got some trees and rocks in the foreground, plus the mountain with the light behind it. So I've got some really nice light on top of the mountains at the moment. So I'm just gonna go that to f22, because I've got more in the frame, so I'd like to have a deeper depth of field. So 1/15th of a second at f22. I've got the dark slide out, lock mirror up. There we go. And that is my actual view. So this is what I'm looking at. Looks like I feel like I should really grab a shot right now while that light's coming up over Mount Mitchell there. There's an absolutely beautiful sun ray just coming up above Mount Mitchell. And then we still got the light streaming across Mount Cordeaux over here. I might throw the 150mm back on and just see if I can get another shot just with Mount Mitchell up there. All right, so I've got my frame, Mount Mitchell with the sun ray coming off it. Since I've changed lens, I am just gonna double check my exposure again. So I just expose for some of the not super dark shadows, but shadowy areas underneath the mountain. I'm now that the sun's dropping, I'm getting half a second at f16. And I will keep it at f16 for this one. I'll go half a second at f16. Then I will do one more at 1 second. Just that little bit of overexposure can be really nice with negative film. I am already overexposing by half a stop anyway, so, because I often expose this film as a 100 ISO when it's a 160. So now I'm pretty happy. I think I've got some nice photos here. There is another composition I can spy just out here with some clouds and some color. Okay, so I've just framed this up with Mount Mitchell is going to be on the right hand side of my frame, stretching out a little bit to the south there. So that should be pretty nice. I've just got a little bit of color in some of these clouds as the sun drops a bit lower. So let's go f16 and half a second. I'm wound on, lock up that mirror so I don't get any mirror shake. There we go. So that should be a pretty nice shot. I might see if I can show you roughly what I'm seeing with that one. So that is more or less what I was looking at. It's a bit hard to completely see it here. I'll zoom out a little. So that's Mount Mitchell there on the right. And if I just sort of pan across, excuse my panning, I'm doing it by hand. You've got the big bright blown out highlight spot there where the sun's setting as we come across. That there with that glorious light on it is Mount Cordeaux as we come across here to Bear Rock. So I might try and take another shot actually just of Mount Cordeaux there with that light and the clouds above it, just a tight shot with the 150, and maybe just over here with those clouds above the escarpment I might be able to get something nice as well. So just recomposing. It's not as tight as I would like. I would really like a longer telephoto lens, but one day I'll get one. So I've just framed up with a live tree and a dead tree in the foreground, then the trees in the midground, and Mount Cordeaux in the background with a little bit of cloud above it. Let's go f16. Let me check my meter reading. If I go 1 second at f16, I should get a good exposure. So there we are, 1 second, f16, with the clouds above Mount Cordeaux and some trees in the foreground with the 150mm. I've got 3 frames left on this roll, so it's been a good afternoon if I've shot that many already. The clouds above Mount Mitchell and Mount Cordeaux have just gone bright yellow. I get the wide angle back on for this. Okay, so I've just got the same composition more or less that I had before with the 2 mountains, but there's just an incredible amount of color there. Let's give me 1/8 of a second at f16 on the clouds. If I come down in half a second on the trees. Yeah, half a second should be good. So there's 1 second at f22. I'm shooting at f22 with this one. So I go 1 second. And then what I'll do is I'll do one at 2 seconds, which I have to go to bulb mode for, just for reciprocity, just in case. There we go. So that's this roll of Fuji Pro 160 done. So I will wind that all back. I might throw in a roll of Ektar. Actually, no, I don't think I will. Not at this stage. I might put on my digital camera and take a shot or two, just for something different. So I've just set up my E-M1 MkII. I've got the 12-40mm f2.8 Pro lens on there at the moment. And I've already got the shot ready to go. So I'm gonna bracket exposures, and I'm gonna do a fairly wide bracket. 5 frames bracketed 1 stop. So my base exposure at ISO 100, sorry, is 1/13 of a second with my aperture set to f8. I'm focusing on the mountains. 5 second timer. Here we go. It's just turned into something absolutely spectacular out here. It's insane. The colors are just so vibrant behind the mountain. I'm going to show you. So that's what I'm seeing. I feel like This little camera is not really doing it justice, but it's just absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to hang out here and take a few more shots. I've just framed up another shot, but with my zoom lens at its maximum zoom, so 40mm, which is a full frame equivalent of 80mm. I'm just going to have to get a bit more exposure. I'm going to go 1/10 of a second is my base exposure. That's a bit nice. And I might also actually put some Kodak Ektar in the Hasselblad, because I think this is probably worth it. So I've just got the Hasselblad back on with a roll of Kodak Ektar. So I'm now looking at one f/16 and 1/4 of a second just to get the color in the sky. And I'm going to shoot one at 1/2 a second as well, just to make sure that I've got enough detail in both the shadows and the highlights. And now we're looking at being about the end of it for today. Most of the color is starting to disappear. Well, I did briefly send the drone up and got a little bit of footage. It was getting a bit too dark, but I might have got a nice little bit of footage and some nice shots from the drone. But I am now about to head home. The light has gone. It is getting dark. So I would really like to thank you all for coming with me this afternoon. This video was a little bit rushed, and I am very, very sorry about that. I don't like to rush videos, but I just didn't have a lot of time after finishing work at 4 o'clock and having to try and get out here while there was still some light. So if you've stuck with me through it, thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't given me a follow, I'd really appreciate it if you would follow me, give this video a thumbs up. If you'd also like to leave any feedback you have in the comments, I do really appreciate that as well. But once again, just thank you so much for coming with me out here into the Scenic Rim. I hope you enjoy the photos I've taken, and I'll see you again soon.